Hi, my name is Joanie Eisinger. Welcome to my channel. Dog Days of Spring. Power outage and now power restored. Radio show postponed to Friday, but I had to get in this YouTube video. If you're new to my channel, you can find me at jonieswhitelighthealing.com. I do Skype, phone, FaceTime, and Facebook videos for folks who are not local to North Central New Jersey. If you're also new to this channel, please subscribe and press the all bell icon. You'll receive notifications of when I put out a new video. You could find me on Twitter and LinkedIn and SoundCloud. You could find me on Facebook. If you haven't liked my Joanie's White Light Healing fan page, please do. And if you're interested in friending, message me and let me know how you found me, because I do not friend strangers. There are no timestamps on this video, as Spirit knows when you will be watching. It is June 10th, 2020, so if you watch this on another day, probably will resonate. If it doesn't, I suggest shelving it because you might have an aha moment later on. I bring in the highest of Christ-like consciousness, meaning the ones that had the oh moment. They might have walked on earth, they might not be from here. They include archangels and angels, departed ones, guides, ascended masters, elementals, star beings, and consciousnesses. So with all of that being said, I received a request regarding pets, and I will read this request. Hey, Joanie, something happened there the other day that piqued my curiosity. I was loving on my dog the other day, looking into his eyes, and I got a flash of a dragon-type image or energy with him. So my mind went racing. Did we know each other before this life? Can beings take on other forms? Was there a pre-birth plan to join me again? Was he a dragon companion of mine in another life? I'd love to know your thoughts on pet companions. So that's what it's going to be about. So first I'm going to do a response to this woman, and then I'm going to go in about pets and meeting up with them here. So regarding this soul who looked into his eyes and got a dragon flash, did they know each other before? That's the first question. No, they are new. So the two of you have not known one another. Let's find out what the dragon is about. This dog receives information from very holy sources. I believe that there are animals and spirits who resemble dragons. They're quirky, though. They're kind of childlike and funky. And I feel like that through this dog's bark, you're getting some attention from this species. It's dragon-like, but I don't feel like they're dragons. They're funky and fun, cute, but they do command authority. So I feel like your dog does guard you, yet there is an impish quality to your dog as well. So you definitely saw through this soul, and you saw into another dimension where he's receiving information. He's very protective, very loyal, and a beloved friend here for you, but I do not believe that you've known him before. I'm going to go in and see whether he was a dragon before. No. He likes this type of communication through this other matter. So this other collective of souls that are funky, animal-like creatures, he likes being the intermediary. So they work through him, and then he's the dog, and then he talks to you. I don't see a pre-birth plan about the two of you. It might feel like you've known one another, but I feel that he's a new soul that was beamed in to be with you. He feels like he resembles another soul that you've known, another animal. I don't know if you've had another dog, but he's quite like him or her, very similar qualities. So he comes in kind of like the knockoff version of who you left behind or lost. I don't know how recently you lost another pet, if you've even had one, but I do feel like there's like a replacement of sorts with very similar qualities. And then I'm going to go in regarding whether he was anywhere near you in other lifetimes, like a friend's animal or even a human. No, this is a brand new soul that comes in to assist you. And over time, I feel like you might be doing animal communication, or it's going to be telepathic, and you are going to be understanding exactly what he's saying to you. This will be within a few months. There's something about water. I don't know if it has to do with give me more water, or I'm finished with the water, or I spilled the water, but I feel like it has something to do with water. So that's where I think this is going to begin. And then from there, it's going to be even easier and easier. So I hope that assists. And it was a pleasure. And thank you for asking. So I'm going to go in regarding pet companions. So when people think of pets, usually they think about cats and dogs. Those are the most common pets that people have. But people have other pets as well. They have gerbils and hamsters, and they have goats and skunks and pigs and bunnies, and snakes and lizards, and spiders and turtles. And they have birds. And I don't see as much of the chipmunks and the raccoons and the squirrels. People have horses. I guess we'll throw in the ant farm. But whatever the case, if I've missed an animal that you have, please forgive me. They might be not as common as the dog and cat. So why would a human being take in an animal? First, I'm going to bring in my Joanie knowledge, and then I'm going to see what the other side has to say. So the first thing that I would say off the top of my head is unconditional love. So when you have a little being or a big being who comes in who requires attention, which would include meals and shelter and a bed, a place to lay their bones, you're up. And so there's that relationship between the two of you where they need you, and there is appreciation for your supplying them root chakra needs. So that's what you would give to that animal. Now, the animal might be coming in with karma. So if there's karma that this soul has, which would mean unforgiveness towards self or other from other lifetimes, they might be working through something with you, and you are there to assist them to balance their karma. And they might be playing out a role in order for them to do something differently to balance out their karma. They also might be there to assist you in balancing out your karma. It might be with them, it might be with someone else, but whatever the case, this animal will know whether it's pre-birth planned or whether it's post-incarnation free will choice, what your issues are. Their higher self and your higher self chat in the ethers, and there is an understanding of who you are and what you're about. So the animal is loving you. Now it might not look that way. The animal could be vicious and ferocious, but there is a connection that is unconditional in terms of you are a soul who is on my path and you are caring for me. I might not like you, but I need you. And I'll say it might not look unconditional, but I do believe, this is my Joanie truth. We have your truth, my truth, and the truth, that there is unconditional love that comes from having a pet. Now, in terms of what you would offer a soul, not only do you offer them the basic needs, but you are offering them an understanding about the complexities of the 3D human experience. So if there are any animals that are wishing to learn about this dense and quite difficult environment, they sure have the opportunity through you. In terms of what they provide for you, in addition to unconditional love, they oftentimes mirror aspects of yourself that are not healed. So if you have fright, they might have fright. If they are terrified and you have gotten over something, then you can provide them the learning of how you overcame it, and then you pass it on to them. So you not only pass it forward, but you also are reinforcing the teachings that you gave yourself. So there are a lot of complexities that go into this pet companionship. There's a lot regarding loneliness and depression and mental illness as well. So for people who've had a tough time in Earth School, to have a pet provides succor, SUCCOR. It is that the Band-Aid, the solace, the peace, the cure, the overall blanket of peace that one could receive from an animal friend. Now, does a person not work on their issues because they now have a pet? I don't think so. The pet is there to, it's almost like an antidepressant in a way, where it takes the edge off. The pet assists in helping you manage, yet you must do your work as well. Oftentimes, many people give up. They throw up their hands and they say, I'm done with something or someone. And then they just get a pet, and the pet takes care of them by making them feel good, being their lap dog or their yummy kitty, or what other type of animal. And then the person looks away. They look away from themselves. They look away from what brought them to get the pet, so they didn't have to feel their pain. So what I suggest is loving on your animal, appreciating them, and having a lot of gratitude, but also taking what motivated you to get this gorgeous soul. And is there anything that you are choosing not to face, and where you're choosing not to grow spiritually? Now I'm going to go in and see if there's anything that I left out. I'm going to channel. So I put my Joanie aside, and I'm going to see what the other side has to say regarding pet companions. Here we go. Well, what they say is that they put love in the air. They fill the air with love. And they provide an energy that's needed for growth and sustenance. So the animals come in, the pets, we're specifically talking about pets today, the ones that we domesticate and we keep with us. Could also be chickens too. There's a certain light, a certain energy that sits and it radiates. And it has an aura about it that it almost is like a communicative aura. What is an aura? An aura is the energy outside of a physical vessel. So the energy field that would be around your pet seems to buzz, and I see it's communicating. It's very blessed and it's very special. And so when your animal moves about, I feel that it's talking. I feel that this soul is preaching, and it is giving you guidance in a way that other souls can't and don't. It's very simple. Like, hey, watch. What are you doing? What just happened here? Take a look at that. It's very simple. I think animals overall, they keep this very simple. They don't complicate things the way humans do. So whether your animal is sitting or whether it's jumping or whether it's scurrying, climbing, I believe that there is a vibe, there's a communicative energy field that is buzzing and speaking about what is going on, and it is directed to you and the members of the household. Whether you pick up on it, that's your choice. So when you tune yourself in and you check in with your animal might be resentful, your animal might be approving, your animal might be sad. And if you can pick up on what's going on in your animal's field and its expression and its body language, it probably is telling you how it feels about what's going on now. Maybe something you thought, maybe something you said, maybe something you did. Maybe it was an interaction with someone in the room, or if you shouted into another room, or if you were on the phone or on a Zoom meeting or a Skype. So be aware, heighten your sense, heighten that. That is claircognizance, which is divine knowing, clairsentience, divine feeling, clairaudience, which is the divine hearing, and the divine seeing, which is clairvoyance. Claircognizance, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsentience. And you too can pick up on your animal's energy expression. Let's see more what Spirit has to say regarding why one would choose to have a pet companion. Some people are very needy and they want someone to follow them, that they haven't been noticed, they haven't had people listen to them, and that they want something around that will adore them. This is the unconditional love, but a lot has to do with attention, that there are a lot of people who've been ignored and they want to be seen and heard. So if that is the case, if you feel that you have been ignored and you chose an animal in order to be understood and acknowledged, recognized, how can you do that to yourself first? It's fantastic that the animal is doing that. They're giving you that boost. They're the catalyst. They start the process off. It's kind of like yeast. You need that little starter to get the bread going. But you have to check the oven to see whether the oven is at the right temperature. You have to make sure that you're watching you have to watch it proof. You have to make sure you've got the timing right. Do you have all your ingredients? You're going to add anything to the bread? Do you have everything ready to go in the oven once it's proofed? So can you say wonderful things to yourself where you recognize yourself? Can you listen to your own guidance? Can you see with another set of eyes? The animal is providing you that because it's giving you peace, and it follows you and it sees you and it understands and recognizes you, but you come first. It's your job to work on yourself with the assistance of the animal, but just getting the animal to tag around and follow you isn't enough. This is an earth school, and it's our job to look within to see how we can heal unhealed parts. I'm going to go back in. Why do we choose pet companions? Pets are gifts for others, so there are times when parents and caregivers gift a child with an animal. And that gifting an animal to a child is huge, and it opens their heart, and it gives them the opportunity to learn a lot of lessons. So the gifting is part of this overall answer to the question. The younger one, the child, is growing and learns to respect the needs of a helpless, nonverbal animal, one that is non-human. And there's a lot that goes into this parenting toolbox when you have an animal for a child. So that's huge. So it's an arrangement that's made. I got the term, it's a delicate arrangement, and it's set up. And that for the younger one, for the child to receive the gift of an animal, I see they bear witness to miracles, that they're usually life changers when the child expects certain things and other things happen. I just see massive growth on the part of the individual who receives a pet. I'm going to see more. Sometimes people lose a departed human soul and they get an animal because they miss their beloved one so much that they want another beating heart soul to be with them. So it's not the replacement of the human departed soul. It is like the next best thing. That's what I get. And that it is a beautiful experience for that soul. It helps them with grief work. And that in time, the grief hopefully resolves, and that the arrangement is just pure and perfect between the human and their animal. I'm going to keep going in. There are so many reasons why. We have to get to rescue, the rescue animals. So there are people who've been in danger and they want to balance karma via the pet. So they, in other lifetimes or this one, have experienced terror. And by rescuing an animal, they are balancing karma. They are doing reviews of other lifetimes, not necessarily consciously, where they are assisting another soul. Well, this is what I wished someone could have done for me, so I'm going to do this for them. And it makes their heart feel full, like they have completed an act. It's a very holy act, and that the aspect over in the other lifetime feels some sense of relief. Karma between souls. If you have hurt that animal and you bring them back in with a pre-birth plan and you treat them well, you can balance karma. If you have hurt that animal and you pre-birth plan to hurt them again, we choose to be victim and victimizer in this earth school for soul growth opportunity. So if you choose to victimize them again, you have the opportunity to stop and put your hands behind your back and change your ways and balance karma from other lifetimes. If your animal has hurt you and you bring them in again, pre-birth plan for them to hurt you, you have the opportunity to make decisions regarding that. What are you going to do with this animal that is terrorizing you or the family? These are very, very big decisions, but maybe if you didn't make the decision then, it wasn't a good outcome, you might have the opportunity to do it now. If this soul was there for you and you wanted to pre-birth plan to have them again, you can arrange that, and it's just a glorious, wonderful reunion. Simply put, you guys are back at it again, and that it's just that beloved friendship that's there for both of you. Just going to keep seeing. So I just want to get into pre-birth plan versus post-incarnation free will choice. For those of you who don't understand, before you come into a lifetime, you meet with members of your soul group and you make decisions on your timeline, some major decisions, and that could include getting a pet. So you might pre-birth plan it, or if you don't pre-birth plan it, it's post-incarnation. And that's where your higher self might be canvassing creation, looking for either an animal you've had before or one that you've never had. I do also want to say before I end this video, some people wonder about what happens to the animals when they pass. They go home, just like we do. Souls don't die, they're eternal. I do animal communication, I do animal healings, and that I am able to communicate with the animals both here and at home. Sometimes animals leave very hastily, very quickly. It could be that they were very young and all of a sudden they die, or they lived a long life and all of a sudden one day in old age they just die suddenly. I've gone in, and oftentimes when they leave very, very quickly, it's they're being asked to be born somewhere else and assist a family that is in need of their services. It is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, they needed to go to the 2-year-old who's in the hospital, so they're going to be born in a litter and there's going to be a puppy in the house. Things like that. It's fantastic. Pet companions, just the dogs for the blind, they have their own specific jobs. That's worked out. That's a very holy job. And then in terms of the last piece here is animals that choose to be abused. They might be being of service, possibly in order to wake humanity up regarding the inhumanity of it all. So I think I've covered a lot. If you have any more questions regarding why animals come in for us, what we're here for them and what they're here for us, please comment below the video. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to go in and make some more remarks regarding this because I just feel it's a gigantic topic. And if you didn't see the horse communication YouTube video that I did a little while ago, it's up and it's in the YouTube playlist under horse communication, I think, horse communication. But if you just scroll down, you'll see it. And I think I'm on a website called petmasters.com as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and please like and share, and I look forward to doing more videos for you. Any requests for other topics, please comment below any video and I'll get it. Take care, y'all. Bye.